This episode is made possible by the support we get from Fort Collins Kia. If you are in the market for any electric Kia, not only do they never add market adjustments, they will deliver your car to you anywhere in the 48 contiguous states for out-of-spec viewers. More information in the link in the show notes.
Hello and welcome back to the Out of Spec podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah. Tesla is having a bit of a supercharging snafu in Sweden. Tesla is having an issue with their Tesla superchargers in Sweden, primarily caused by unions. Now, I'll jump over to this video here from X provided by Nicholas, and I'll have this video linked in the description. This is a Tesla supercharger in Sweden. It is packed to the brim. Now, why is it packed? Well, it's the beginning of the year. We just got over Christmas season. Christmas is the biggest holiday in Sweden. People are traveling. It is colder weather. EVs have less efficiency. People are likely wanting to charge more. A lot is happening during this time, and so people are going to want to charge. Now, for context, Tesla sells over 4,000 vehicles globally. Sweden is one of their biggest markets in Europe. And that means every single day, more and more and more and more Teslas are being bought. This is also a public supercharger, so non-Tesla EVs are using this station. But every single day, more Teslas are being bought more and more. And at the same time, what do you have to do? You have to increase and make sure that the infrastructure that you have for charging these electric vehicles matches that for the amount of sales and vehicles that are out there in the wild. And that's what Tesla has wanted to do. However, Tesla has been in Sweden since 2014, but only until about 2018, 2019, Tesla in Sweden started to have a bit of a problem, specifically with some of the culture. Tesla is a 366, 8 days a week, 25 hours in the day moving company. Their culture, the Tesla culture, is very much get it, get it, get it. They are forever wanting to make sure that the company is always moving and selling. That is a part of American culture, I agree. And that doesn't exactly align with Sweden's culture. In America, we have a 40-hour work week, often working 5 or 6 days out of the week. However, in Sweden, they have as little as 3, 4-day work weeks, as little as 6, 7-hour work days versus the average 8, 9-hour workday that we see here in the United States. So, this culture that Tesla has brought from America into Sweden isn't exactly matching with the culture that Sweden has. And so what's happening? Swedish employees are striking. And in fact, it's actually not a lot. It's a minority of Swedish Tesla employees are striking. But why is that important? Well, a lot of these employees are protected by unions. These unions often work in groups and have one larger group together. And so one union often has 10 other unions that they work alongside. And so these Tesla employees that are striking, wanting better hours, more pay, less work weeks, less work days, they're striking and Tesla is still able to operate. However, the other unions that work with Tesla, think logistics, transportation, electricians, this is now affecting Tesla's sales and service in Sweden. So for instance, right, Tesla has to ship vehicles from their Berlin factory into Sweden. For a time being, Tesla couldn't ship some of their vehicles into Sweden because some of the employees were striking in solidarity with the Tesla employees that were striking. Even though they're not Tesla employees, because Tesla uses their service, they're striking, and these train workers, right? Tesla was shipping these vehicles by train. Tesla wasn't able to move these vehicles into Sweden as quickly. So this is creating a bottleneck, right? Demands here, supplies really here. Tesla really wants to make sure they're getting as many vehicles as possible. So to curb that, what was Tesla doing? They started shipping vehicles by road. This upset some of the Swedish unions. Same thing, logistics, shipping, semi-truck drivers. A lot of these are controlled by unions. In solidarity with these Tesla employees that were striking, these truck drivers, some of them were striking and they weren't participating in shipping to Tesla. And so loads that needed to be delivered weren't being delivered because no one was picking them up. And so now you're having a bottleneck at the sales part. People, inventory of vehicles, delivery of vehicles, service parts, and then most of all, electricians, right? Tesla's infrastructure. This is what we just showed on video here. For those listening, I just showed a video showing an extremely long line, maybe 70 cars, non-Tesla EVs and Teslas lined up at a Tesla Supercharger in Sweden just trying to charge. But they can't because, again, really long lines. And these electricians are boycotting Tesla. And what's happening? Tesla can't turn on their Tesla supercharging stations. Right now, there are 7 superchargers in construction or already built, already finished, that can't be turned on because of these electricians boycotting Tesla. And so what's happening is Tesla has these superchargers. They're building more superchargers. They have over 70 in Sweden live, right? They're trying to build more and more, but they can't because what's happening? Well, they can't turn them on. These unions are boycotting them, even though they don't work for Tesla. In solidarity with the employees that are striking, they're not turning these superchargers on. It's creating these bottlenecks here where we see this extreme line. I mean, I've been at a Tesla supercharger line in downtown Los Angeles, but never seen something like this. And you can see it, there's still more and more Teslas coming to charge. That's how bad this line is here. And it's not only a bad look for Tesla in Sweden, it's a bad look for Tesla across Europe, across the world. This video has gone viral on Reddit and Instagram. People write disparaging EVs because look how long it takes to charge. When in reality, yes, it does take longer to charge, but that's not really the case. There's just that there isn't sufficient infrastructure in place because Tesla can't turn their superchargers on. And so again, what are the Swedish employees asking for? Better rates, less work days, better hours. There's a lot here that Tesla as an American company is unwilling to provide and is being stubborn about. Again, this has been going on since 2018. It's only gotten more extreme towards 2022, 23, 24, and today, 2025. And Tesla still is not moving the needle. They are not budging one bit. We know how Tesla feels about unions in the United States. They absolutely despise them. They do not want to work with unions at all. They are very anti-union. And while unions are really what set the precedent for working culture in Sweden, for instance, there is no minimum wage in Sweden. Typically what's happening is these unions are speaking on behalf of the employees. They have their own set standard minimum wage. So, employee wages are very competitive. They're actively competitive. And Tesla, being honest here, they want to get the best deal that they can. They're a company. They have expenses. And as any company, right, while you do want to make sure that your employees are getting correct wages, you want to increase your profits. And Tesla's American way of thinking likely isn't just mixing with Sweden's way of thinking. Again, this has implications on EV drivers, not just Tesla drivers, because Tesla's supercharging network in Sweden is public. They all use CCS2. This is hurting Tesla's reputation in Sweden, right? This is affecting the Swedish EV market because 35% of EVs sold in Sweden are vehicles in Sweden are EV. But right, if we're seeing things like this, extreme bottlenecks, does that appeal to buyers? And again, it's very unlikely that Tesla is going to, concede to these unions. They are very hardy. They've prolonged strikes, and Tesla could. I honestly don't think they care enough. I don't think they care at all. Right? Tesla's going to continue to push, and they're going to find a way around this. Now, I'll go directly from a tweet from Tesla's head of supercharging, Max. He says, as forecasted, Tesla's, right here, sorry. As forecasted, Swedish EV drivers are suffering and EV infrastructure is not keeping up unless superchargers get energized by the utilities, blocking them from getting energized. Tesla superchargers are critical infrastructure, especially for peak travel days like this. 100 plus stalls in Sweden have been energized this winter, would have been energized this winter. So 100 plus stalls are just dead. They're built, but they're not working. No one can use them. If it wasn't for the sympathy strikes, despite no clear path yet to getting turned on, we will also continue to invest in build sites for Swedish drivers, including more in a ton of these Swedish cities with names I will not be able to pronounce. We appreciate the support from the public to help us get Superchargers energized ASAP. Waiting in line like this is super painful. It hurts EVs adoption, but it is totally fixable. I think it's a perfect response from Max. I'll even go to this screenshot from Tesla's navigation showing the Tesla supercharging lines. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. About 20 superchargers that have lines. That's about 20 superchargers that have lines just like this here are packed and people are waiting to charge. That isn't the most appealing to see. And so I present this question to you. What should Tesla do? Right? I mean, this has been going on, right, for more than 5-6 years at this point. And Tesla is dealing with it, right? Tesla, I think, is a very witty company. They're figuring out ways to curb things that maybe are stopping them from continuing to progress. But what should Tesla do? Should Tesla concede to these unions, maybe try to work with them a bit better? Or do you think that Tesla shouldn't do anything at all and wait it out? Again, that's only going to exasperate the conditions that we see at superchargers, extremely long lines, super packed, which isn't appealing to people who maybe want to buy an EV. But yeah, there's a lot up in the air here. I don't want to politicize this at all, but I think it just objectively looking at it, right, you would want your company to continue and maybe working and trying to work alongside some of these unions is the best bet. But I know some people are very anti-union. I really, going to be honest here, don't have like a set opinion on unions. I can see how they can be beneficial and extremely harmful for companies, especially growing companies. But again, I'm going to leave that for you guys in the comment section. I'm going to be extremely active, so whatever you say, hoping to provide some context. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is another episode of the Out of Spec podcast, and I'll see you guys in the next one.